Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Meredith.
Welcome back to another episode of Mildly Thriving.
Thanks, Meredith. Where are you on the scale of mild to thriving?
If you had asked me yesterday, it would have been a negative mild, whatever that is.
Yeah, I got a long block of text from Meredith yesterday, and it was just like watching her type, that anxiety you feel of like,
man, those 3 dots have been there for a long time.
Like, oh my God. I've sent you like in that time that those dots have been there, I've sent you like six messages. Was it 6?
It was 6. I counted.
Sorry.
No, I was trying to finish my thought, and I was like, damn it, I have to answer other thoughts. Hang on, give me 2 seconds.
My anxiety got the best of me.
It's been a week, but it's okay. I got some sleep. I had a couple of margaritas with some friends last night. I feel better. And now I got to vent to Kimberly this morning, so I feel even more better.
Good. What?
Just to add the cherry on top of my absolute horrible day yesterday, Gunnar has been like squeezing out of his diapers.
Oh.
I just got my apartment cleaned, like professionally cleaned.
Oh, I love that.
It has changed my life. But they like swept and mopped the floors, obviously.
Oh my God.
I came home. He pissed in the middle of the floor and walked to every fucking square inch of this place. There were gross-ass footprints everywhere. I have now mopped twice. It's no longer sticky, thank God. But after, I was about to have a mental breakdown. If I didn't go have margaritas with my friends, I would have had a mental breakdown. And if you ask Boat Guy, I did have a mental breakdown. Bless him.
I am very much enjoying my dog-free life right now.
I just feel so guilty some days. It's just like, I love him and I can't even imagine life without him. But yesterday was one of those days of just like, how much fucking longer do I have to do this? I can't. I don't know how many days I can come home and not lose my shit. Because you can't. Like, it's not, he's fucking 15.
Doing it on purpose.
I can't. Yeah, I can't get mad at him. So who am I supposed to get mad at? Me?
No, I don't think you need to be mad at anybody. I think you just can be mad at the situation, right?
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to happy things. Do we want to talk about we're not calling it fan mail because that's dumb.
I think we're going to call this segment Texts from Our Friends.
Texts from our friends. I was very excited to see that we're now having like an ongoing conversation with someone because she immediately listened to our episode and was like, I was your first fan mail. This is awesome. So we got a reply from the person in California who did confirm that she is a female and that she is an educator in California. And
what is
she said she is safe. So great news.
Good.
Oh, thankfully still alive is what the message actually said. We're very glad to hear that.
I love that we have this ongoing like conversation with her.
Yes. I want to keep it going.
I do too. And I sent you that voice message.
Oh, my God.
And
y'all, one of these days I'm going to play all of the voice notes that I saved from Kimberly because it is comedy gold. It's just, she definitely took an edible and is just thinking about life. And it's my favorite version of Kimberly because I hate voice notes. I hate
them too. But I don't.
The only ones that I will listen to are the ones from Kimberly because they're so fucking funny. Just like, do you ever think about like how we got here? Like, yeah, it's terrifying. That's why I don't do drugs anymore. I think about that sober.
Well, but the point that I was trying to make is like, this feels like a rom-com. It's like either the beginning of a rom-com or a horror movie. Like we start having this text conversation with this listener and it either turns into this like amazing like rom-com-y friendship, not necessarily like love, but
and then, or she stalks us and kills us.
Oh yeah, or this is the beginning of a horror movie and we're dead. So
totally kidding. We don't think you're going to do that.
Well, please. We don't know.
Please don't.
Yeah, we don't know for sure,
but I do like how the other texts from friends are actually texts from friends.
They are,
because Kimberly keeps telling people about it, and so her friends have just like started messaging us random shit, and now I'm on high alert because I'm just like, I don't know if this is real or not. And I don't know if someone's fucking with me. One of them had to do with tits.
Wait, we got one that says thanks for making the workday easier. And we don't know who that is from.
Where?
Did you see that
When?
one? Or did we
No.
already talk about that?
I don't know. I don't know what day it is now.
Yeah, I don't know either. And it's not like I have much.
Who? Where? When? No, see, this one says show us your boobs.
There's one that said from Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's right. I did see that because I was like, who do I know in Salt Lake City? And I don't.
And I think that, yeah, they said, you ladies are so fun to listen to. Thanks for making the workday easier. You're welcome.
What the F?
So
cool. We have two.
Yeah.
Y'all.
We have two friends.
Whoever's in Riverside, California and Salt Lake City, Utah. We love you. Thank you for listening. I mean, we love all of you, but still, you know, y'all are our favorites.
Yes. On Thanksgiving, I had a bit of wine and had friends over, and ow, these fucking nails are my hair, Scott.
It's so hard being so pretty.
It's so hard. It's so hard having hair. I told her, I was like, yeah, we can have people like text us, and we got like a text from a stranger, and like this was like this big thing to like celebrate. And so then she got on and was like, show me your boobs.
I'm glad that that's going to be a running thing, and now everyone's going to get to see Kimberly's boobs except for me.
Yes.
We're going to start that's how we're going to make money. We're going to start an OnlyFans with just your boobs that I don't have access to. And
this is the best idea you've ever had.
This is our $1 million idea. People will pay for me to not get to see your boobs.
Oh my God. This is the best idea. I love it. I love it.
You're welcome.
We also got another text from a friend. And
yes.
It says, are we going to see the cruise dance-off video? Sincerely, Cletus.
Okay. I said I would address this one because we did say we would show the video. Sorry, let's clarify. This is Cletus. Wow. Yeah. I'm learning so much about you that I didn't even know.
This is Cletus.
Hi, Cletus. He can be our mascot along with the plant.
And the butter.
Man, we're growing mascots.
Yeah, we are.
Let me address the dance video thing. I may share it at some point, but I'm going to tell you right now I'm not going to share it. Until I decide that I would like to reveal Boat Guy's name, I don't really want to show him on the podcast either. And the video is both of us, and I just feel for my personal comfort and privacy, I don't want to do that to him yet. So, since I haven't said his name, I'm not going to show him on the Instagram page. I probably will eventually, but this is still, like, the podcast itself and my relationship are still new, and I would like to protect some things about myself for now. So
sure. So in honor of that, I will post a video of me dancing on a cruise ship instead.
I'm sure people will love that. I did tell Kimberly before, I'm happy to record a video of just me dancing so you can see how bad it actually was.
Also
so
great. We can do a reenactment.
Yes, that's fine too. If that's something the listeners desire, please let me know, and I'll make
whatever the listeners want, the listeners get.
I'll make a video of me dancing. Apologies for not releasing the cruise video, but I'm gonna be lame for a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Moving on.
Yeah, what are we talking about today?
Why choosing the right friends matters.
Okay.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Oh, awesome. So obviously this was my topic.
Wait, hang on.
What?
Just kidding.
You bitch. I have these articles that are emailed to me from this minimalist website. There's a long history in my family of just like saving shit that doesn't need to be saved. And over the years, I don't want to call it hoarding because it's not quite there yet, but we save a lot of stuff. My grandparents grew up during the Great Depression. You don't get rid of anything. And so there was a time in my life where I had moved once a year consistently and had a bunch of shit and was like really trying to downsize. So I got into reading about minimalism. Anyways, that's why I started signing up for this article. But the topics are super interesting and most of the time centered around the idea of owning less things and finding more value in experiences and the things that you already own and not needing to get more things. But
So what does this have to do with choosing your friends?
I'm getting
Oh,
there.
okay. I'm like, I'm not seeing the pieces of the puzzle connect here.
I wanted to explain the background. So
Okay.
the article was titled, "If You Need Nice Things to Impress Your Friends, You Have the Wrong Friends." And so the article was centered around hanging out with people who have expensive or more things than you promotes consumerism and you having more stuff. And if that's not important to you, then you should not spend all of your time with those people. So I did like the article for a different reason. Like it sparked a different idea in my mind because it starts off with the quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And
Okay.
I'm going to get into that in a second. But
Okay.
when I started the article, I was like, I really like this idea of if you need nice things to impress your friends, you have the wrong friends, for 2 reasons. One, I used to feel like that. Like, I don't want to call it keeping up with the Joneses, but like living in Texas, I went to a pretty big high school
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were very well off. And 16-year-olds got brand new cars and people had designer purses, and my family was not that family. And I did
Mine
feel
either.
this pressure to like, well, if my friends are going to like me, like I have to have this stuff. I have to dress like them. I have to do these things. And so it took a little while to grow out of that for sure. But it also reminded me that I am grateful for this time in my life right now where I feel like I don't have friends like that. I have surrounded myself with people who like me for me. I don't think any of my friends would give a shit what type of purse I have, what type of car I drive, obviously, because you've seen my car. Nobody cares. They like me for me. And I am grateful that I'm at a point in my life where the friends that I choose are because of what value they bring to my life, not because of the stuff that we have or the things that we can do. Like, I'm totally fine sitting on your couch and eating crumble cookie and watching Vine compilations, and that shit's free. Or however much it
Ish.
costs to buy crumble
Crumble's
cookie.
expensive,
Yeah.
especially when you have it delivered.
God. Yeah. That, I know I've said this before, but it is amazing to me how I get so caught up on the idea of having to buy more toilet paper or how
Mm.
expensive laundry detergent is, but I don't think twice about ordering Grubhub. And I'm like, I should stop.
Yeah. It'll get
Anyways,
you. It adds up.
it very fast. Okay, sorry. Back to the are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I thought that was interesting, and I agree with it, but I want to get into it and then reframe it at the end. Does that sound
Tell
acceptable?
me. Tell me.
Come on this journey with me.
I'm ready.
So, why I agree with it is we tend to surround ourselves with people who have similar interests, hobbies, sense of humor, beliefs for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And so the things that you have the most exposure to are the things that you end up aligning yourself with. And I do think this is mostly true, but I personally think it's important to have a little bit of a diverse friend group. I don't think everyone in your life needs to see things the exact same way you do, because I do think it's important to have different perspectives. Otherwise, I don't think we grow or evolve as people. I mean, if you surround yourself with people who only believe the exact same things that you believe, how are you going to learn? I think the funny, super relatable part about this phrase is I don't know about you, but the people that I spend the most time with, I pick up their mannerisms, I pick up their phrases, I pick up their tone of voice. Like I start sounding like them. And I used to be embarrassed by it because it's like I don't do it on purpose and I'm afraid someone thinks that I'm copying them, but it subconsciously happens. Also, I kind of find it flattering when people pick up my phrases. And it's happened at work because I say, "Oh my Lanta" all the time. That's like
You do
my
say that.
frustrated phrase, "Oh my Lanta."
You do.
And my employees have started to do that, and it like I'm like,
You're so cute and smart
it
and like
I say it too much, don't I? But thank you.
you sound so cool when you say that.
Oh my gosh, did you get that from me? Anyways, but I feel like I'm rambling. Do you feel the same way? Like, does that happen to you?
The picking up the mannerisms thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that too. I remember one of my first jobs out of college, there was this guy in my department who just like, he told you like it was. There were times where I was like, okay, you're being a little too honest. But I started hanging out with this other person at work and we became really good friends. And he was like, you've literally like picked up all of her mannerisms and you talk like her now. And I was like, oh, shit. But I've noticed that like since I was young.
Glad I'm not alone, but that was the biggest thing that the quote made me think of. But then I dove deeper and then I got emotional. Almost started crying when I was writing this.
I'm shocked by this news.
I know, right? I don't cry at anything. So what the article says is, if there's a trait you don't want, maybe don't hang out with people that model it 24/7. And I do agree and think that's a pretty direct way of saying it. But the article...
That makes sense though. If you're trying to make a change in your life and you're like, I don't want to drink as much, or I want to exercise more, or I want to take on this new hobby that I'm interested in, you kind of have to find a community that will fit in, because it's really hard to fit in with a friend group if all you've ever done together is drink and suddenly you don't drink. Or what was the other example I said?
New hobbies. Hobby? Yeah. Or like, exercising more or eating better. Yeah. That was exactly what the phrase made me think of, was like, yeah, I've struggled with this in the past and I have people close to me who still struggle with it. And so I was like, I want to talk about this because I think it's important. And the author uses the word traits, but I think traits and lifestyle are two different things.
Yeah.
And
I think so he's using that wrong.
Yeah, so I think he's talking about it in the sense of like, your friends have to have the next new car or the next whatever. I'm thinking of, how do I say it? When I think of traits, I also think of like attitude and negativity.
That's like your personality.
Yes, but I did want to give an example of that specifically because I do feel like I have had friends that drain me a little bit because I saw your eyes light up. I wanted to give this example because younger me, and even now, but I'm getting better at setting boundaries. I just wanted to be friends with everyone. I just wanted everyone to like me. Mm-hmm. And you become friends with people and then it's like, it was like the idea of no longer being friends with those people was not okay. That's not something that's even talked about. You just suck it up. And I wish I could tell 20-year-old me, like, you can choose your friends. If you don't like this person, just move on. But I didn't. It was just like, everybody like me, please. So the negativity. I know I joke a lot. Like, I have a lot of smart ass jokes. I have some very negative jokes. I have some dark jokes. But I consider myself to be a genuinely positive person. And
I would agree with that.
Thank you. It bothers me when someone is consistently negative and there's no way to change that, because I just feel like I can't win and I can't I can't fix any of the problems. So I have had friends in my life where it's like, the sky is always falling. The restaurant's always bad. Something went wrong in the day. And
now the whole day is ruined.
And now everything is ruined. And there's nothing that I can do to change that. Or like finding something to complain about at everything that we do. And I'm a fixer. I just want to make it better. And I do understand that, like, just like in a relationship, there are times where it's like, is this a venting moment or do you want me to give you a solution? Because I'll just let you vent if that's the case. But it's hard when it's all the time. Like, nothing is ever positive. And then anytime I do give a solution, there is a counter argument. It's like, well, that won't work because of this. It's like, well, then what am I doing here?
Yeah, it's like, what do you want me to do?
Yes. And so I have come to a point in my life where those friendships no longer serve me. It's draining. And I don't want to hang out with someone like that because
you're always trying to like find a solution and fix it.
Yes. And it's emotionally exhausting. And I think we've proven that I'm already emotionally exhausted. And I want to be able to be a good friend. And it's like, people like that make it impossible to be a good friend because there's never an answer. And it's like, man, I just feel like crap about this all the time. And I don't want people like that in my life. And I think I've come a long way from the idea of, I have to be friends with this person because historically I've been friends with this person. It is okay to grow apart from people.
Yeah.
And it is also okay to not get along with certain people.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Anywho, okay, that was my point on negativity and traits. But when I think of lifestyle, I think of ways that people choose to spend their time.
Yeah, and so do I.
I wrote basically exactly what you said. Have been at points in my life where there's been like a transition period for me but the people that I was hanging out with were younger. And I was like, I'm old, I'm tired, I have no desire to party all the time. And some of them still did. And it felt like, well, we can't hang out anymore unless it's under these circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like I would sacrifice parts of myself that were actually important to me because I didn't want to lose friends. And I think there is this idea that because you have history with someone and you know someone really well, it means that you have to be loyal to this person. And just because a friend would keep your secrets or do anything for you, quote unquote, I'll hide a body for you, doesn't mean they're a person that you need in your life consistently still because they're not serving you in positive ways or helping you grow. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means you are at different points in your life, and that's okay. And the example of drinking is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You've been friends for 10 years. You guys know all of each other's secrets. You do anything for each other. You drop everything. Person A is drinking too much and really needs to cut back and doesn't want to surround themselves with people who do that because it makes it harder to not do it. Person B might hide a body for you, but is still at that point in their life where they want to continue to drink and party, and that's not something that they're going to change. And they're the ones that are like, oh, come on, it's just one night. Like, you can do it. Come have a drink with me. And I have a problem with the idea of not supporting your friends in what they want to do or growing to be a better person. You can still be friends with that person and support what they want to do. You just might not get to hang out with them as much anymore, but that's also okay. That doesn't mean you have to stop being friends. But I still feel like a good friend would be like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this and you're having a hard time. Absolutely. If you don't want to drink, don't drink. And if it bothers you that I drink around you, we don't have to hang out when I'm drinking. Like, is
Yeah,
that an
totally.
unrealistic expectation?
No, I think it's like if you're friends with somebody, you have someone's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And so if they're telling you, I need something, like I want to stop drinking, saying, okay, how can I support you in that? Of like, I still want to go out. I still want to have, I still want to drink. Maybe it's not impacting my life in the way that you feel it's impacting yours, or I'm still in this phase or whatever. Finding ways to connect with them and support them through that phase. I have an interesting example though of how that can go kind of the opposite direction where you kind of transition into a new phase. So when I got divorced, I had a close friend and she was also going through some stuff. And I was keeping myself very busy. I lived alone. I worked from home. So my social interactions were like very limited. So I made plans every night to go out. Not necessarily go out drinking, but like I had something going on. And she did not want to make plans. She said, "Well, I don't know how I'm going to feel day to day. I'm going through my stuff." And I said, "Okay." But I said, "I can't reserve time for you if you're going to keep canceling on me." And then when someone makes you feel bad, then because you're like, hey, I need this thing, I'm making this change, but you're not willing to support me through that, like it can really drive a wedge in a relationship. Because
Yeah.
then I'm getting this like, well, you're always out, you're always busy, you're always doing things. And I'm like, okay, well, this is why
Yes.
I can reserve time for you, but if I reserve time for you, you have to kind of suck it up and show up. And if I happen to have like a free evening and maybe we can try to do something last minute, then that's great, but I can't keep reserving time for you if you're not going to show up.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's just accountability 101.
yeah.
I mean, if you say you're going to do something, do it. I think it's something that maybe us as ADHDers struggle with because we want to be able to do all of the things and say yes to all of the things, and then when it comes down to it, we overcommitted and we're stressed out. But at the end of the day, that's like part of the reason I get burnt out is because I think accountability is really important, and
I do too.
I have had to learn. That's how I've had to learn to say no, because if I'm going to preserve my well-being, I have to tell people no sometimes. And I used to have such FOMO, and I really don't anymore. I'm just like, it's fine. I hope you guys have fun, but I need to sleep. I think I've also experienced enough relationships where in my life where people are not accountable, and it's so frustrating that I just think it's a basic respect thing. If you say you're going to be somewhere, just be there.
Well, and be there, like, obviously there are always going to be times where things come up and
That's what
people
I was going to
can't.
say.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I interrupted you because I wanted to make my point.
No, keep going. Keep going. I'm just so excited because I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's like if you are reliable 99.9% of the time, I will have so much grace for you when you say I'm overwhelmed or I'm sick or I can't. But it's when you consistently commit to something and then you're just like, well, I don't feel like it now. And it's like, well, number one, that hurts my feelings because you're saying like this isn't important, especially when I've made it very clear that like I'm going through this thing and right now this is what I need, which is I am making lots of plans, I'm keeping myself very busy, and this is what's important to me, and so I need you to like show up. And if you can't, then like let's not make plans anymore. But
and then we can see if we're free that day. Like,
yeah, if
that's
it's
the
like
case.
a random, like we're randomly free. And I remember saying this, somebody invited me to something and I said, well, I have plans that day, but she's probably going to cancel. And I remember this person that invited me to something just kind of like looked at me like, okay. And I was like, yeah, that's really stupid. Like, why am I reserving time for this person that I know is probably going to bail on me?
Well, I do it all the time. And then I get frustrated later and I'm like, well, I could have just said no, like a big girl. But I do want to point out, and I think it's because I've been listening to a lot of things on ADHD lately. It gets talked about a lot that that's something that people with ADHD do is like overcommit and then cancel because they're exhausted, and to like give people grace. And I don't want to not give people grace. However, this being something that I personally struggle with, I don't think that you get to use it as an excuse to behave poorly. I do understand at the end of the day that it is your brain functions differently, and I struggle with it every day. But it's information about myself that I now understand and have the tools to work around. And so I do feel like it's my responsibility to understand that and be able to say no to certain things, or be able to schedule my time in a way that works for me and is not wasting other people's time. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I do think that grace needs to be given in certain situations, but I personally don't want to be the person that's like, I'm not going to show up every time I say I'm going to show up because I have ADHD and I'm just tired. I don't feel like that's the way to go about it. I feel like that's just information for me, and I now have the information to navigate myself better. And am I going to slip up sometimes and overextend myself? Sure, but that just goes back to your point of like, if you show up 99% of the time, then sometimes it happens.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has a thing, or they're just like, you know what? I have diarrhea.
It always comes back to diarrhea.
It really does.
Sorry, my plugs fell off the wall. Studio living it's a puzzle. Sorry.
You did fine.
Thanks. I got sidetracked. I got in a hyper focus. What? Meredith talked too much, and we're going to turn this into a 2-part episode because I still have a lot more things that I'm going to get weird about.
There's a lot that we need to unpack about
Friendship.
French. Yeah, French. It's French for friendship.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're so worldly.
I know. I get out a lot. So on that note, this is part 1 of a 2-part episode about friendship. So come back next week.
Yeah. And remember that mildly thriving is
thriving enough. Yeah.